Welcome to part 6 of Fake It Till You Make It, the SakuAtsu 10K special. Or in other words, the part I'd like to call siblings interrogation. It's getting interesting. Let's go! So, speaking of the devil, Ayuka entered the room fully, closing the door behind her and taking a seat on a chair opposite the bed. She watched him expectantly, observing how his confusion slowly morphed into his usual scowl. What do you want? Ayuka rolled her eyes, making a sweeping gesture toward the utter mess that was the bed and, most importantly, him, her brother, as though it was obvious. Care to explain? He kept silent, earning him an exasperated sigh. Oh, Kyo, what am I gonna do with you? Look, here's what I know. I'll tell you, you fill the gaps. Let's play truth or lie. It was an old game they used to play. Turns out it was less of a game and more of an exercise on communication she disguised as a game. That witch tricked him. Though, admittedly, it was very useful, and the fact that she pulled it out now without judgment was reassuring. Your name is Kyo. You're my cute baby brother and our family sucks. Truth or lie? Truth. She smiled. It became the standard opening over the years, and it immediately caused a familiar warmth to inhabit his system as he relaxed a little. Good. You and Atsumu play volleyball together, on the same team. Truth. You trust him a lot. Truth. You're in love with him, or in the process of falling. Truth. He couldn't deny it. They've known each other for the better of 2 years now. Well, technically even longer, but he didn't pay attention to anyone in his high school time after the incident. He always tried avoiding the topic of how he felt about the setter. Their communication consisted purely of banter and teasing, and Mia had the unbelievable ability to get under his skin like no other. He was the most annoying person he knew, but only because he was the only one he would subconsciously let close enough. In a way, he was scared that eventually Mia would force him, intentionally or not, to confront how he felt. Who knew Moteya would be the real problem? Your boyfriend. She knew the answer. He saw it in her eyes. Lie. Ayuka nodded slowly, observing him carefully. Here's what I know. You are falling for that Mia guy hard. You love him and he makes you happy. He flinched at that, knowing what she was referring to. Sometimes loving someone wasn't enough. Sometimes it wouldn't bring happiness but despair and hurt more than it healed. For some reason, you came here introducing him as your boyfriend, even though that's not what you are, and he plays along. Now you are conflicted. You want to confess, but something is keeping you from it. A heavy sigh, then Atsumu and I made a deal. He would pretend to be my boyfriend in the name of pissing off our parents. I help him win a bet. It was Motoya's idea. I wasn't aware of my feelings at the time. I don't know if he feels the same, and... He staggered and paused, trying to sort his thoughts. Atsumu had fled the room so quickly that he forgot most of his stuff, including clothes. He was leaning with his back against the locked bathroom door, out of breath. His heart was hammering wildly in his chest and cheeks glowing, burning in a bright red. Shit, did he mess up? What was that just now? The image of Sakusa lying next to him, looking at him with those soft, dark eyes, the black curls framing his pale face perfectly, the cute molds decorating his forehead, and that tender smile on his lips. He couldn't think clearly. In that very moment, his expression seemed almost loving, and Atsumu had forgotten all about reality. He wasn't actually in a romantic relationship with Sakusa. They weren't actually sharing a bed and kissing because they were in love. He shouldn't be in love with him because Sakusa wasn't either. A lump built up in his throat, accompanied by familiar stinging in his eyes. Shit. Fuck. What was he doing here? His breathing turned shallow, and he let his head slump against the hardwood of the door. He should have known this was an awful idea. He should have. It wasn't like these feelings were completely new to him. From the very first moment he saw him, Atsumu was interested. Sakusa was, without a shadow of a doubt, attractive, catching Atsumu's attention the moment he laid eyes on him. It wasn't until much later that sexual and aesthetic attraction turned into something more, spreading out into dangerous, romantic territory. It was a slow, barely noticeable process, which he blamed the spiker for entirely. He was so hard to catch, to have a conversation or spend time with. In the end, he didn't realize his feelings until way too late, which he also blamed Sakusa for. By then, they had grown into a raging storm, leading him automatically into his brother's shop to dramatically bawl his eyes out since his crush was so out of reach. Atsumu had patted his back half-heartedly while Rin collected pictures for his blackmail folder. Cold-hearted bastards. Yet it was said cold-hearted bastards he called when he finally got his stuff together well enough. Only to break down the second Atsumu answered. Samu! There was a sigh on the other end of the line as he heard Atsumu's whining, knowing what this was about already. Good morning to you too. Atsumu huffed, which turned into a sniffle because his throat was partially blocked. Okay. What is going on? Omi, So, we made this deal and... Atsumu, speak clearly. I need all the details to know what weapon I need to use and how long to drag it out. Oh, who are we killing? Suna's voice echoed from the background. Sakusa, he made Sumu cry. Well, that's the usual. What's different this time? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Samu, stop. Then explain. And don't think I wouldn't do it if he deserves it. If you do, you're even dumber than you look. We look the same. Nah, Sam was the attractive one. Suna! They succeeded in calming him enough to tell the story. It was met with stunned silence. Are you gonna say something or what? This is... wow. I mean, wow. Suna hummed in agreement. I mean, I knew you were stupid, but not that stupid. I'm not. Why? Should I have turned him down? What would you have done? I don't know, but not that. Look, let me ask you one question. Why don't you man up and confess right now? I can't just... Yeah, but why not? Well, because... I don't know if he feels the same. He said he doesn't like me. Well, that's a fucking lie. He ignored it. And if I confess now, won't he assume I just played with him? Exactly. But I didn't mean... I know that. You probably were too stupid to consider the consequences of your actions again, and just wanted to spend time with him. Yet it effectively got you in this awkward position. Ayuka, if I tell him now, won't he think I just used him? You didn't know. From what you have told me, you weren't aware of how deep your feelings ran. You can only work with what you know. I could have known. He should have known. His words were a whisper at best. I avoided thinking about it. Okay, so you've been an idiot again. Nothing new there. The important part is, how do we fix it? He looked at her, surprised, and resembling a kicked puppy a little too much for her taste. Oh man, look, your options are limited, I will admit that. But don't you think Atsumu would understand if you explained it? What if he doesn't even like me like that? Damn, Kyo, you're blind. No, that's unfair. Blind or not, everyone would notice this. She got up and after waiting for his nodded approval, pulled him into a brief embrace. I love you, my poor idiot baby brother. And I won't tell you what to do, but if you want my advice. He wasn't sure at this point with all the subtle insults pointed at him, but didn't interrupt her either. In a way, Ayuka and Komori were the only real family relations he had, and her sharp words felt oddly comforting. Take a bit of time to think about it. Don't confess to him like this when you're a total mess. Maybe even wait until you're at home again, safe and sound in a familiar, comfortable environment, and then just be honest. It was easier said than done, but it did sound logical. He replied nothing, already deep in thought, but she seemed to understand and left him alone to decide. Atsumu was already sinking deeper into despair while his brother attempted his best to salvage what could be saved. The most important part now is not to rush things. You don't want to overwhelm him, yeah? Okay. He sniffled and Atsumu sighed again. Good, then calm down. Have fun this weekend and think about how to confess after. I don't want to. You're not using him. Not just did you agree on this beforehand, but honestly, does any of that act before his family feel sincere? Or like something between the two of you? No. See, you don't think about him when you're with them. You don't get to enjoy your time together. No, you're thinking about how you can piss those assholes off the best. It's not comparable, so calm down, would ya? He sniffled again, but nodded, and even though Atsumu couldn't see him, he seemed to understand. Good, so now do me a favor and do your best to giving this shitty family what they deserve for hurting my future brother-in-law. And don't forget to mention that I know how to get rid of a body. Before he could fathom what his brother just said, Atsumu ended the call, leaving Atsumu speechless. With a bit of effort, he fought himself up from the ground and dragged himself into the shower after quickly discarding his clothes and tossing them to the side. He would have to wear them again once he left the shower, but he didn't care. Sakusa would. Sakusa would care. That's how he found himself walking down the hallway, naked except for the towel wrapped around his waist. He decided to make the best of it and add to the act, taking prideful strides to their room in case anyone wandered by and risked a look. Maybe it was shameless, but Atsumu didn't care. He had nothing to hide. In fact, he worked hard for these muscles, so why not show them off from time to time? Sakusa seemed to be of a completely different opinion, judging by the shock in his eyes. He choked on air and turned away, his cheeks burning up. Put on some goddamn clothes, Mia. Atsumu smirked dangerously, but he did as he was told, deciding to push things a little further today. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I hope you liked it. As always, if you liked it, consider leaving a like because it really helps the channel grow. And consider subscribing so you won't miss out on the next parts. For example, like the 7th, that will probably premiere tomorrow if everything goes according to plan. Now, tell me, what was your favorite quote of this entire ordeal, this entire video, under the pinned comment. I'm super excited to read that. And you can check out my other socials, they are listed right here, or check out the Discord, which is linked in the in the channel description. There are a lot of fun people on there. Check it out and look for more videos right here. The next part should also be here if it's already uploaded. And now, bye bye. I hope you guys have a wonderful and amazing day.